Hi. Hi, Suze. Hi, Prancha. Oh, it's so nice to see you. This Instagram TV is going to be a little bit different than my normal Instagram TVs because I'm going to talk about the launch of my new book, Soul Doctoring, Heal Yourself, Heal the Planet. Oh my God, this has been a long time coming. I had the vision for this book in a Sundance ceremony in 1997, and I'm going to tell you about that. But so it told me what to do. It took a while to figure out what that was all about, of course, like most visions do, but this has been a journey, and I'm really happy to be here and be able to deliver this to you because 2 weeks ago, I've spent 40 years trying to bring holistic medicine and compassion into the healing system, and 2 weeks ago, it almost took my life. I had to go in the hospital for an emergency. We don't know what, but the good news is here I am. I've escaped. I'm like the lioness that got caught in the wolf trap and chewed off her foot to escape. But certain parts of Western medicine saved my life, and certain parts almost killed me. So I'm going to continue to work on that. My book, like I said, is called Soul Doctoring, Heal Yourself, Heal the Planet. And I have an introduction by Dr. Emran Meyer, who wrote the very famous book, New York Best Times seller, Mind Gut Connection. Very thrilled to have him on my team. And Olivia Hussey Isley, who's a Golden Globe winner for Romeo and Juliet, and she wrote the foreword. So my team is glittering with stars and amazing people. It starts out with a semi-autobiographical journey of me, starting with the vision, and then I regress a little bit to my childhood, and very exciting stories from that, kind of show you how I might have got shaped into the doctor that I am. And then it moves on into several healing, touching chapters where my patients are teaching me, as well as me teaching them, about self-healing, which we all need so badly right now. So this book helps you with your own self-healing. And then the latter part of the book is how do we address the crises, the health crises, the climate change crises that we're facing today. Most people, you say those words and they shut off, but what I'm trying to get people to understand is you don't have to shut off. There's positive ways of dealing with this, and if we all agree to take small steps, we can bring about big changes on this planet, and that's been proven. Just when you look at 2020 COVID, when we had to take ourselves out of the earth healed much faster than scientists ever predicted, showing their algorithms were incorrect. So if we take these small steps, which I outline for you in my book, we can all heal together and leave a legacy of this planet for the people that follow us, because that's what it's all about. That's what was taught to me by my original teachers, and it still is the sacred knowledge. So first I'm going to read to you from my prologue, which tells the vision, how the vision came to me. Before I do that, I want to thank some people. I want to thank Word Journeys Literary, Bob Yaling, his team, Rob Weinberg, Alexa Black, Aaron, and my team, my home-based team, Rhonda Wilhite, Tony Campos, my IT people, Conchetta Kirshner, and in the past, Sarah Gepp, who have helped me with this journey, and all my friends and family who have listened to me talk about my passions and my visions for years and years, and supported me and not torn me down for it. So because it is the future. So I'm going to start now reading this vision, how this book came in. It's also very interesting. There'll be a podcast coming out next week with myself and Bob Yaling, literary genius. I took my book to him in, I think it was 21 years ago. We were both invited to the same spiritual conference in Ruidoso, New Mexico. And he lived in this very high place where the eagles flew every day. So I went up there and took him my book, hoping he would help me bring it into fruition. And it was like a couple Kinko's boxes. And I brought in my Kinko's boxes and I go, "This is my book. Will you help me with it?" And he said yes. So we started out with a couple of Kinko's boxes worth, and here we are today. So let me set the stage. When we do Sundance, it's a very sacred ceremony. It's done in silence. It's done in a circle, a medicine wheel type circle, which you make with your tribe prior to starting. There's drumming. The circle is made of a tree that you select with the chief. Joseph Real was my chief. And once you select that tree, you ask, do you want to join our ceremony? The tree will acknowledge. Then you use every part of that tree. The tree itself is a fork-like tree. It stands in the middle, and it is the tree of life. And you dance back and forth to the tree of life, never turning your back on the tree, and stay in your space in that sacred circle for the entire time, unless you have to leave to relieve yourself or something. We do not speak. We do not talk to each other. We connect only with Spirit and God. It is beautiful, beautiful ceremony, and we do this sacrifice, no food, no water, for 4 days and 4 nights in the hottest part of the summer to cry for a vision. And the way we cry for a vision is by blowing an eagle whistle. It's a bone from an eagle, and it makes a very shrill sound, sounds like an eagle cry. And it's also breathing, right? It's breath. And in Tiwa, which my chief was part Tiwa, it's Wamachi, which is the name of God. And you blow through this eagle whistle to cry for a vision, for mankind, for the planet, to make it a better place to be. So 3 days and 3 nights of the Sundance ceremony pass. Dancing and fasting from food and water takes its toll on my body during the hottest, driest days in mid-July I can remember. My body surrenders to the heat, and my consciousness is released to fly with the winds of eternity. A vision gifts me. An American Indian is passing a talking stick in a circle of other elders. The talking stick is passed clockwise, and they're speaking in their native tongue. As the first one speaks, smoke begins to rise from the center of the circle. Smoke symbolizes spirit. And then the next elder begins to speak, and within the smoke I see an image. And the image becomes clearer as the talking stick passes around the circle. And I soon realize it looks very familiar because the image is me. And it's a woman sitting at a desk with papers and a pen and a computer, very focused on her task. After the talking stick passes around for the 4th revolution, the elders seem to have come to an agreement. Symbols began to appear in the smoke as they speak. When the The stick is passed to the east. An eagle appears in the sky with a blazing sun behind. Then the stick is passed to the south, and a large wolf stands before a body of water. To the west, a black bear stands in a lush green forest, and as the sun sets behind him. And when the stick is passed to the north, a white buffalo appears on a grassy plain, and she begins to roll back and forth until she becomes a circle. And the circle looks like a medicine wheel. Then the medicine wheel rises up into the air and turns into the blue marble in space that is our Mother Earth. As I'm looking up at her, the sphere comes over above my head, and I put my hands out like this, and the sphere drops into my hands and my arms, and I hold her. And then I am told that it is my onus to write a book about the planet, about the medicines of the planet, about merging different medicines together and helping to heal the people and the planet. And that's a pretty big charge, but here we are, 27 years later, and that has been my quest. So in my vision, the woman arose from spirit, from the smoke, and it was told to me that the spiritual practices that I would learn, that the modalities that I had not yet learned, would intermingle with the modalities that I was learning, which was Western medicine. And I have since mastered more than 20 different healing modalities. And through making those connections, I have made further connections with our planet, with the earth, and with healing in general. Upon the realization that this was a vision, I heard these words: "Granddaughter, communicate from your heart. See with your heart. Speak from your heart. Use your mind for knowledge and your heart for wisdom. Honor the good red road." The good red road is the north-south path in American Indian philosophy and theology. And it's very sacred. And always remember to value the honoring of spirit in treating the body, and walk softly upon the earth. Teach about honoring the plants and animals and things, and teach about living in balance with all things. Do this, my granddaughter, for all the planet. When natives speak about living in balance, what they're referring to is regeneration. And that means never waste anything. That means don't use things up. That means be conscious of the planet in everything you do. And it's like being mindful, like Jon Kabat-Zinn teaches us to be mindful. I tell people to wake up with that sense of regeneration or planet in your heart every day, so that every choice you make, whether it be food or clothes or driving somewhere, or are you going to drive, are you going to fly, are you going to, so that all those choices come into play. And if we could all be mindful like that, our planet would heal very quickly. My teachers have guided me to view all aspects of the individual in my practice. Every aspect is so important in treating disease or dis-ease. They're often missed by regular doctors today as they rush you in and write your prescription and give you pills and push you out the door. And it's really true healing is not really like that. You know, you need to take, and I knew this from the time I was an intern, take into account what's happening with that patient's spirit and heart and what's happening at home. And, you know, it's way beyond pills, isn't it? And if you can take those other aspects into consideration, then you get true healing. And you'll read many stories about true healing in the book and how that all comes about. So, the other thing that happened is I was one of the pioneers, as many of you know, in integrative medicine and subsequently functional medicine. And my colleagues, when I left UCLA, they go, what? First of all, how can you leave a vested position at UCLA? And what is holistic medicine? And what is functional medicine? And why would you do that? And because I had to follow my heart and I had to follow my vision. And I knew that the future of medicine, yes, it may also include those wonderful technologies and scientific things I learned at UCLA, but it included much more. And that's the integration. And that's what we're still pushing for today, but now, you know, everybody knows about it. When I was talking about it back then, they were going, what are you talking about? You know, I used to be on these TV shows because I would talk about those kind of things. They thought they were crazy. So the one thing that I promised early on when I became an intern, and I saw how my colleagues quickly lost sight of the compassion they once came to medicine for, and that they wanted to help people, and they started seeing people as their diseases, as opposed to the people that had the diseases. And I promised myself then and there I would never honor the disease process over the person, because we were taught to take our, you know, that science was our altar, and you know that science could cure everything. And don't get me wrong, I love science, and I have been a scientist. I still am, and invented many things. But it's not just science. We can't lose sight of the person and the spirit and the emotions and the whole person, because that's what truly heals. So that, without going into reading my whole book to you, that gives you a little taste of the exciting sorts of stuff that I talk about, and the semi-biographical journey, which is really fun. I just want to also tell you who's on board here. What Soul Doctoring is in the house. What are they saying? So some of the people that are endorsing my book are pretty amazing. I have Dr. Larry Dossey, and he says, Soul Doctoring captures the future of medicine, and many people call me a medical futurist, which attention to the body, mind, and spirit is the hallmark. Gail Madeleine Randall, MD, brings this book with the expertise of a medical insider and a cross-cultural explorer practitioner who possesses exquisite reverence for non-Western healing traditions as well as Western. This is a courageous, trail-blazing contribution. Thank you, Larry. Olivia Hussey Isley says, in 2017, I found myself in a very physically compromised and frightening time in my life. I had the good fortune to meet the most gifted, kind, knowledgeable, and above all, understanding and compassionate, honest doctor I have ever spoken to. Dr. Randall literally was an angel sent to me. She has taken care and looks after my health issues with more compassion and love than I could ever imagine. She has true understanding, knowledge, and love of alternative healing practices, which is a path I have chosen, and I will forever be grateful to her. She is in my prayers every day. So here we are, 2022, and that was in 2017, and I'm very happy to say that she is free from the terrible cancer that held her at that time. So we celebrate Olivia. We celebrate Olivia's healing process, and everything about her is she's a light on this planet as well. Here's one by Emran Meyer. Gail has been able to present the multiple aspects of integrative and functional medicine in a semi-autobiographical and exciting way and weave them into a truly holistic manifesto. I'm not aware of another book that has been able to accomplish this task as well as soul doctoring. Going through the 25 chapters is not only a journey through Gail's own life, full of fascinating personal and patient anecdotes, but a comprehensive education of the interested reader about many dimensions of holistic health and wellness, from gut to brain to dreams to planetary health. Thank you, Emran. And a few more. Joseph Rao, my teacher, my chief, my Sundance. He's a shaman, and he's also a modern-day mystic, author of many books, Being in Vibration, Beautiful Painted Arrows, Stories and Teachings from the Native American Tradition, House of Shattering Life, Light, and Life as an American Indian. Over many years, as I have followed Dr. Randall's doctoring ability, I have looked on in amazement at her skills. How quickly she finds solutions to patients' needs and chosen designs that she uses for her holistic approaches towards healing, as if the universe is whispering in her ear. Is Dr. Randall's healing knowingness a genetic gift? Who can know? Perhaps the Great Spirit loaned her to us so she could teach us how to heal. That always touches me when I read that. Here's one from my Ayurvedic teacher. Dr. Gail Randall is an absolute one-of-a-kind being and soul, doing so many things for my... Oh, no, this is different. I'm sorry. This is from India Isley. Dr. Randall is an absolute one-of-a-kind being and soul, doing many things for myself and my family, as well as mankind in general. I couldn't be more grateful to have her in our lives, really. Anyone who cares about their health and well-being should do themselves a favor by reading this incredible book and make themselves aware of this brilliant, comforting woman. Thank you, India. Here's from Dr. Awasthi. He was the head and founder of the Integrated Medical Association in all of India, which he founded in 1952, which was the year of my birth. And I have an endorsement from him, which is so meaningful. Across the world, people are more aware and devoted to body rather than to souls. Unfortunately, the awareness and knowledge about soul is very low. One has to know about the soul before treating it. Dr. Randall is actively contributing and distributing health and knowledge to many people. She has the light to get the information out, and her patients are lucky to have her. I am so happy she has written Soul Doctoring. Thank you, Dr. Awasthi. Connie Kaplan, my first dreaming teacher, writes, Gail Madeleine Randall is an extraordinary person who has played many roles in my life: physician, teacher, student, colleague, and friend. Her generosity in sharing her story with the world through soul doctoring is immeasurable. Read it. You'll recognize pieces of your own growth path, and you'll be inspired to stretch your own fullest potential. Without giving advice, she advises you wisely that each of us is born to deliver a unique message of love to the world. Roger Ebert, who is no longer with us, but I played a huge role in his healing for many, many years, kept him around for a long time. Gail Madeleine Randall is a generous and wise counsel. She begins with a distinguished background in mainstream medicine and draws on her knowledge of holistic and Native American tradition. I find it especially important that her philosophy on nutrition is sound and healthy, aimed at longevity and preventing or combating disease, rather than a quick temporary fix. Her advice and encouragement has been invaluable to me. This one is from Howard Wills. Howard Wills is an incredible healer. You can find him in Kauai. He has an incredible website, and he has written a set of prayers that are incredibly healing. He has a weekly transformation Zoom, I recommend. Medical visionary futurist is my description of Gail Madeleine Randall. Her wide and varied practice has led thousands to much improved and greater health. She leaves no stone unturned in her delving into secrets of health. She is much to be admired as an open researcher into what is needed in human health. To be advised by her is to be getting the very top advice in medicine today. She is a treasure for all to enjoy and appreciate. Reading this book is an adventure of self and planetary healing, led by a medical visionary futurist. Thank you, Howard. Wow. Is my head growing? I really don't get too much like that, but so just a little bit more just to read from my book proposal. Soul Doctoring is one of the most diverse, personal, prescriptive journeys on healing undertaken in print form. Using Dr. Gail Madeleine Randall's life experience and cases along with compelling and empowering storytelling, it is the first book to bring together the four forks of healing and medicine that have saved humankind: Western medicine, functional medicine, indigenous healing and intuitive medicine, and Eastern medicine. The book weaves diverse techniques, philosophies, and practices with both a depth and simplicity that not only gives readers the knowledge and insight to living healthier lives, but keys to self-healing itself and, of course, healing the planet, which, as most of you know that follow me, I believe to be regeneration. Regeneration is something that our American Indian teachers have always taught us, and they're probably the first regenerative examples that we can still draw on. I feel that indigenous knowledge is as important as scientific knowledge. And in going forward in medical future, we need to come together, just like we need to come together as people. People say, oh, that'll never happen, but yes, it will happen. We are all one. Humanity is one. One humanity, one planet. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what sex you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what country you live in or what language you speak. We're all people. And when we can come to the understanding that we're all part of the same humanity, we can achieve unity through diversity. The diversity only makes it stronger. Just like growing a regenerative farm, it's the diversity that makes it healthier. The probiotics in the soil, the many different plants, not just corn and beans and wheat, it's the diversity that is the strength. It always has been on our planet, and it's the loss of that diversity that we're facing now. So we need to get back to that. Unity through diversity, both as a people and as a planet. I believe that the biggest thing that we can do right now to help our planet is to look at the food system. And it's not hard. If you can buy local, buy plant-based, buy organic, and that is going to heal the planet right there, and move more and more away from meat, particularly conventional meat. Now, if you've got to have meat, do regenerative meat, because that's good for the planet. My Blue Nest beef guys, look it up on the website. They're fabulous. It covers the ground with grass. They don't grow crops that release carbon to feed the cows. They just eat grass, like the buffalo roam. They move them around. They copy the predator-prey relationship. If you instill that system, I believe it should be governmentally supported, if nothing else, if not enforced. But that's the way we got to go, is regenerative food growing and eating. So thank you all so much. Hi, Yvonne. Does anybody have anything they want me to talk about, or questions? Or the book's going to come out pre-sales like in a week or something, March 1st. So excited. So watch for the Amazon links on social, and then it'll be out in print before Memorial Day in May. So hit that Amazon, and it'll also be at Barnes & Noble and different bookstores. But we're going to have some Zoom signings, so watch for that. That'll be fun. And hopefully, if this COVID things get better in May, we'll actually have some signings together at bookstores or other places. I'll be giving talks and whatnot. And Patty, I think I just said, it's going to be available to buy pre-sales in March 1st. But if you want to wait till it comes out in actual print, it'll be before Memorial Day in May. We want to get those pre-sales, though, because the more we can get on pre-sales, the closer we can get to a bestseller. Anything else? All right. I love you guys. Thanks for joining me. This is an exciting time. I look forward to seeing you all and signing your books. And thanks for all the hearts. All right. Love you. Yeah, I do feel better. I'm better every day. Thank you. Although it's been a journey, and I did learn a lot. It's amazing. Okay. Bye-bye, guys.